Have you ever? Conclusion. Businesses, including technology, and politicians, including mayors and governors, decided climate change and accepted Black Lives Matter, Antifa soldiers and warriors as their army now. And what brought all of these parts together was a presidency in a White House in Washington, D.C., similar to China and Russia, who emotionally beg for repetition. And coincidentally, a Paris Accord signer who received a Nobel Prize for peace was in a position of power to know an election a paradox and cognitive dissonance imminent now. Humans, in other words, chose a decision, a choice, and response to a problem mathematically they had declared and have decided now necessary for consciousness to have marijuana and some woman who plays her electronic music, to have the freedom once provided to those who wanted to work and make a home for the baby and the child and not make them a slave in a system for stimulation now. And chose a process with body and brain of confusion, misdirection, and failure to acknowledge their outspoken medical and health benefits. They wanted money, funding now, money for now. With social stimulation, Facebook rewards and likes, Twitter, friends on the internet, babies born from people who met on a dating website, an observation in a city civilization, instead of motivation and inspiration to shut the window and stop the bully. Now, A world set on fire, the new Nobel laureate says, receives the same admiration Barack Obama received in the previous presidency. And what the woman next door gets from her gender-neutral friend, colleague, comrade, neighbor, social worker, counselor, and landlord who argue for diversity in philosophy and ideology, psychology and behavior. And truly believe in their hearts and their lungs and their sagging stomachs, the economy, it, that, them, there, they, this has got to stop now. And in order to put the fire out on earth and to keep the diplomatic strategy and tactics of strategic patience now, all a person has to do for them to not die of hunger and poverty has to do with silence and quiet, for them to make their art about all of the racist, inconsiderate language now. And for those who are strong enough and brave enough, with enough courage in their bones to break windows and graffiti, colors, and more letters, drawings about communism and socialism and Bernie Sanders' face. Wear a mask more. Respected than the Spartan who fought thousands of years ago against drugs, meth and crack, some tobacco and some booze, and one who doesn't learn. Their hearing and their vision aren't for evil and don't deserve the light they see and the noise they whisper. With no bed to heal during a coronavirus and no nurse to comfort them in a pandemic when they get sick, frail, and begin dying. Alone now. Initially, have you ever began to reduce the amount of behavioral observation within neuroscience to begin artificial intelligence and engineering? And very fast and very quick and very swift. emotion, attention, awareness, focus and concentration were more important now. Disguised in the city world, planet Earth on fire now, was people, folks, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, City Council, Mayor Durkin, and the Governor Inslee. And their hormones from biopsychology and their university college, the University of Washington, Husky, UW. Explaining to those who wanted to smoke and drink their booze, they provided as essential. And the marijuana in the pot, the joint, the bong, the glass, from the anarchists now and their security guard who was Black and African American and bigger than y'all now. And a more distinguished black belt than the Bruce Lee manifesto they published in their dissertation library spot now. Explaining in the argument they've made from the beginning of their term in office is now. The only way to put out the fire Greta Thunberg describes in her speech and the climate change, their technology business is the only remaining places to shop with items and objects from China in the millions. Was to deny small amounts of food and fast under Sharia law with a counselor and a social worker and their services, reviews, application material now. Filling in all of the gaps when jitters flutter, stomachs growl, and hormones drop to nearly zero. To go out and get the stimulation from those Antifa gangster thugs who are the cartel's most beloved amiga and amigos. Now, essays and their rap in their cars, their deep growling bass, filling the ears of the 60s and the 70s activist protester who likes their micro cerveza now.